Hello, this is a Silver 2 Cassidy review, and the post on this one mentions that they were losing a lot of unfair fights. It felt like the other DPS were getting healed more, and their positioning, they said, also probably needs a little work. And after looking through it real fast, I want to show something in the training range first, but it did have more to do with your positioning. You either weren't playing at the right ranges, or you weren't with your team when you should have been. So I just wanted to show the flashbang is actually, it has a pretty good range, and I think I could even back up another meter or so and it would work. So you don't have to barrel stuff someone with a flashbang. And the other thing I want to show is using your roll to create space. Say like, oh no, a Reaper, we don't want to just fight, even if we're headshotting it, we might lose, so you would just go, oop,
I'm really
and do something basic like that. So you can flash him if he keeps coming into you, but I mean the roll is really big, just like backup roll. So now let's actually go into the replay, because it was better just to show that in the training range.
Ready for battle.
And a lot of times it was the Reaper, but they've got a Roadhog too, which is going to cause a lot of issues. But we'll skip forward to the first point. Your Doom's experiencing all the CC and debuffs in the game, and he dies. So that's really, at this point, you're just gonna leave. Like, you can go back if the Reaper lets himself die, so be it. But your tank kind of just messed this one up. But don't make the problem worse by staggering yourself. Nice hook dodge. That was good positioning. Wait till your tank goes in. He gets anti-tied again. There's not that much, really, to go over the first few fights. It's just your tank dying super early. But I do like you backing up that time. Oh, let's go back. We missed a fight in a place that's not usually a fight here, but...
This ends now.
But yeah, your aim's pretty good if you've got some space. But I like you living here. If you can get a pick and live, that'll really help stop their spawn camp. But it's hard to touch here unless your Genji or tank wanna start moving up here. But this cuts off the Roadhog, so it's a good ult here. But we're not gonna get a touch, so that's really on your Genji for not going the under route, but it is what it is. Sometimes that's just gonna happen. Roadhog is definitely a metal rank destroyer, and your tanks are running into the antis, but we're going here, and we're gonna finally get to start talking about positioning. Like, your tank's in, you say fall back, but it's not always gonna be like everyone spread out nice and neat. Like, I'll stand here, check for the Reaper, everyone else stand here, and have a good setup like higher level players. If your team's gonna do this, you just kind of need to go with them. Adjust it based on the team, because Cass has some serious damage fall off. It's I think it's like 15 meters now. They really wanted to make him like a shortish medium range guy. Yeah, they're fighting, you're not. It's kind of just like, if I was playing this game, I'd be like, really, we're doing this? But I'd still, like, okay, I guess we need to come up. And then you're probably going to end up having to run right back, but at least, like, get up there and fight. And here it is. I think your first reaction should have been rollback. Rollback, then headshot, or rollback, flashbang headshot, because it's still, flashbang is like almost 10 meter range, so you can be here. Yeah, and your Lightweaver tried. It's just such a preventable thing. He could have, this Reaper, if you just roll back and he's like going, die, die, die in the middle of a field, he's gonna look so dumb. But,
Are you gonna let me get away with this?
yeah, are you gonna let the Reaper get away with this? And the answer is you are, but hopefully after this VOD, you won't as much. But your team clutches up, that's good. In another case of like, oh, your tank's gonna be this idiot, but once Hook comes up, it's safe to run up a little. Like, you can run up here, if things go bad, you can like roll out, but just like try it and just... It's a very Overwatchy thing, but yeah, you just... Your revolver fall-offs, it's too big. Yeah, I think he shot the soldier for like 30 damage, the Roadhog for like 100, it's just... And at this point, Mercy Valked, you lost your tank. This is or your tank. You didn't lose him. He backed up. It's backup time. Forget shooting the mine or even anyone. Just back up. Sometimes you're just a little sluggish to sort of adjust. Like, oh, they're Valking. Let's give up a little space. I'm in front of my tank. Like, now would be a good flashbang time. The Reaper's like 5 meters away. Keep him there. Headshot him. No flashbang. And yeah, it was just, I think, it was the Roadhog that got you, just because you got a little flat-footed there, but fight forward with your team, and then if they come in with an advantage, then back up. It was, instead of pushing up and falling back at the right times, you're a little just flat-footed, I guess you would say. And you kind of just need to adjust. Sometimes your Mog is going to be stupid and go in. Sometimes he's going to be behind you like he was there. Just play off it. It's silver. People are going to do dumb things. Yeah, but a lot of dying and running back because of range issues. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and like the backup angle there would actually be here. I know you got pressure put on you, but they've got that pick and your team's still respawning, so you just backed up the wrong way, and it's gonna end up being a stagger kill. Your Genji did worse than you, but as far as, you gotta have like a mental image of where your team is or a rough idea, and say if they really push me, that's good. They're spending so much time on me, and I'll back up to this safe space where my team is. But instead of baiting them in, you're kind of giving them like a 1v1 cubby. So, which is pretty obvious, you know that. Oh, as soon as you did it, I'm sure you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, but I just wanted to explain. Just have a better idea of where your team is, so you know the escape route.
Come on, Cole. Try a little harder.
That's good. See if you can catch these guys when they're out in the open. It works, and then good job hiding from the soldier. Not egoing him. Roll to reset your ammo, that's good.
Like riding a bike.
Alright, let's see if your tank's gonna go. I forget if he goes like super aggro again, but if he does, you gotta just play off it. Luckily they don't have support ultimates, so if he goes aggressive, it might actually work. Oh good, they didn't touch in time. And it's kind of like, why are we taking this 1v1 to begin with? You could just run with your team, but if you did want to take this 1v1, let's play it out first. Oh, we're fanning the hammer, yeah. So I mean, if you're trying to fan the hammer, and the healing's actually gonna matter because you do less damage per shot when you fan the hammer, so it's you're not gonna get through this healing. But I mean, even the range is the bigger problem here. That we tried to like run into him and like use flashbang as a melee thing and then fan the hammer. Because Reaper's good at close range too. So let's go back. If we do choose to fight the Reaper, I'll tell you how I'd play it. Like right be here, we're trying to keep the range on him, so like we'll like move out here. So we got a longer sightline on him. We can flash him when he's like 6 meters away. We do more damage with our shots, and he's missing pellets because of the range. So we should be here. Shoot, flashbang, and yeah. Just the range is wrong. You not being with your team. If you're gonna take this fight, at least give yourself more of a chance. But it looks like you are both being healed, so kind of cancels out. Just the point blank flash fan. Just try and do more rolls, more keeping them at range. The flash fan's really more of like a barrier breaker. If you watch like higher level Cassidy's, or like a burst damage on a tank to finish him off. Like if a Winston's about to get jumped, you just dump it into him before he can get away. But
Flashpoint unlocked.
there's Reaper again. Good range. I like you backing up at this angle. Like you can even throw the flash here and it would hit him. Like you saw what we did in the training range. That way he can't wraith out, and you can you can double dink him, or at least get him to wraith away if you miss the double dinks. But
I'm on the objective.
But yeah, you just playing your range. I mean, if you had egoed him again, then you might have just died. So I mean, much better job with the spacing there and the positioning.
I'm on fire.
Good, we get him. They're ulting, so it's a case of you might just want to back up. But your tank goes in, so that's fine. But the flash fan again, like why are we flashing Bastion? Are we trying to shut down his teleport ability, or like it's just he gets damage reduction too, so you're doing less damage because you're fanning the hammer, and even less damage because he's in his turret form, the ironclad thing. I forget what percentage it is, but just know you're doing, yeah, like 20 a bullet or something. Or maybe like 25, but had you just dumped 3 body shots, I think it might have been enough. If you, instead of flash fan, and you just went body shot, body shot, body shot. Yeah, and I'm surprised you didn't get a Suzu there. Maybe... Yeah, she had Suzu, so I mean that is a bit unlucky, but their tank likes to go for squishies whenever he can. And if you had traded out that Bastion, it might have been enough, but and you can move up against that Bastion if you want. Alright, we can chunk him once his Nemesis runs out, we can go in. Oh, a lot happened there, but another thing, you can work down the Ramatra, but I don't like how you went back into his range. Because he's in Nemesis, we're working him down. So you've got a barrier there, and you can kind of just circle out here. Like, I don't like the extra second where you run back into the Ramatra and basically present yourself as the juiciest target ever, because he likes going for squishies. Yeah, you could have already been here, and then you can barrier dance as old, and this shoot the Reaper if you and what is it, Kiriko can get the Reaper, that'd be good. So you did you got a little flat-footed again. You didn't retreat out of his range soon enough, and yeah, you're just gonna get rolled down. But yeah, so I mean your tank got a revive, so actually could have turned out well had you played that differently and lived. And that's fine. I mean, maybe cancel that. He's definitely not going to come back. But I like you swap into the Mercy if she's gonna float around and heal everyone. It's fine. And that's just unlucky. You thought you were gonna flash her. But good job on your team clutching up there.
Cage fight still charging. The ultimate's charging.
No, that's unlucky. And yeah, the Reaper got in for free. I mean, if you... Obviously that was a mistake, but if you were still up here, things you can do is maybe stand back here, like, don't let the Reaper in for free, let's see where he's coming in, but you're sort of checking for him instead of all being stacked here and letting the Reaper get like a free flank. Just be aware he could come from the side and maybe stand back a little bit to start with to check for Reaper. And then once you see where he is, then maybe you can come back in. But that's just an example. Had you not fallen down, what you could have done.
We got us outnumbered. Keep that in mind. Lucky.
Flashpoint unlocks intensity.
Okay, see, he has tasted the full power of damage fall off. That 25 HP, really missing it. But this would be a good soldier angle, like da 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 da. And if you can see people shoot him with full damage. But Cass, I mean, even if it looks like bad positioning to just walk forward, you do have the barrier up, and it's risky to stay here and do 20 damage, because basically then you're just hoping your team will win a 4.5 v5. So I'd recommend just walking up a little. It's Cass's range is way closer than this. A whole lot of nothing. Yeah, the fight's kind of over. So you do have to go in. If your team's going to be aggressive like this, go in with them. Your damage fall-off's just too high. So, I mean, you didn't die, but still bad positioning, in my opinion. Oh, the flash could have stopped his Wraith form, but I do like you're getting better at sniffing him out, fighting him at like 5+ meters, so... And this is ambitious. If you were going to flank, I'd recommend just like jumping on the boxes and actually going in. This flank high noon, it's not much. You could have even stayed here and like slowly worked down the Ramatra and wait till his nemesis is out, and then you can push in. But these sort of flank high noons will work less and less as you climb. Yeah, they're just not going to peek it, and your team's getting run down. Okay, finally they're tanked. It's beams. They've been pretty good all take game, but... Good shots, good backing up there. Again, you could have actually maybe even thrown a flash if you wanted, since it's a pretty long-range ability. Good shots. Oh yeah, your aim is definitely good for silver. But they're on Doom now. But I like you pushing up with your team, so yeah, if your Diva's gonna go forward, you go forward. You can just have in the back of your head, if Doom goes in, I've got my Yana here. I'll just back up, or we can reset here, but I like you actually playing with the team here. Oh, that was a little risky not backing out from the punch, but this is good. Be up, fight with your team. If things go bad, you back out, so this is much better positioning. And now that if your team... Well, I would have recommended just... but I like the roll. The roll's good, but you can just hit backwards and roll, so your gun's still pointing at them. since you could have actually gotten the limb on the Reaper. Instead, you got to do the 180, but
These beasts are on fire.
that nano.
Team kill.
But yeah, good job. So we're at least pulling it back. I don't know why they got off Roadhog. And now they're back on it like, I need the clutch, I need the hog. But as they get on hog, you gotta be thinking like, oh, I don't want to get caught in the open. I don't want him to hook me anymore. So it's back to the more like a little further back until you see you use his hook. Yeah, and I don't know, it might just be a map thing you're not aware of, but you do have this route, and you just do not have enough mobility as Cass to actually stop this Roadhog if he wants to run at you in this room. Oh, and the Reaper. You kind of missed the roll, but it wasn't a good idea to try and stay here because you could have just gone with your team again. So we'll see. I think there's going to be some more positioning things here. You can see your team through the walls at least, and you know they're setting up here. I'd recommend just going here as well. Maybe if you want to, you can set up here. But it's like you got to think of like, where's my healers? And the answer is they're respawning. But probably the safest thing is just be up here with your team.
Juno has landed.
Like point, not really a big fan of. Especially now, like I'd already be like, okay, like see where your team is. Like maybe we just roll out because your diva got demeched. Like roll out and just reset at this point because if your team was all playing the point, this would be fine. But you got to recognize like, oh, they did some dumb thing over here. So you got to just recognize it because you're gonna go to the right now after your diva's already been demeched and like your team has given up the point. It's just. Yeah, and they get a free like 3v1 on you. So it's just, I think it was another case of you weren't really like aware, you didn't have like a mental map, like, oh, my team is like around here-ish, I should roll back to them. You just went to, you ran away in the wrong direction. And it's kind of too late now, because you gotta cross back through the opening to get back to your team, so. So that's a really unfortunate one since we were making a comeback until that point.
These barrels are smoking.
Good ult. This is a good flank. They're down and they were distracted with your team, so.
Think they have more to say.
Ana's always annoying.
Eyes open
Let me open with him.
Okay, you when you hear that nano and he's got mercy, when you hear that, you should already be like, ain't winning that roll. You should already be by this Juno. It's a little sluggish again. You just gotta recognize this is a fight you can't win. They've dumping everything into this guy. Like even if you like rolled back like this really like safe way and like did a Benny Hill like and you just like ran around here for 10 seconds, that's a good trade. But I don't know. You better be ready to headshot, flash, headshot. You better be ready to go Grandmaster on this guy if you're gonna stay. Okay, now we're running, but it's too late.
They are taking the objective.
Wait, let's go back.
Your carry is here.
My spirit blazes. Join me on the objective.
Okay, I thought you looked.
Try a
Yeah,
little harder.
I thought you looked a little far forward. Are we done? Are we
Well,
quitting?
No.
I mean, Tracer or Sombra swap would be great.
They are taking the objective.
Because people can and do just keep the point alive by touching it, and the other team's like celebrating like we won, and they're just like sitting on the point. It's like, and you get a pick on their supports, and everything opens up. So I think you gave up like a 10% chance to win the game by standing still, typing something, and not swapping. Yeah, this is totally, you totally had a chance to win a fight. But yeah, there were a few things with you just gotta, one, make a mental map of your team. If you get pushed hard, roll back to where your team is. Two, play your range. If your team's fighting forward, be a little far forward with them so you're doing full damage and not doing 30 damage fall off. If the Reaper comes in, you want to roll away or at least keep them at distance. You don't have to barrel stuff them with flashbang. It has good range like we showed. So if you correct those positioning things with being with your team a little more, playing your range a little more, I think you'll be able to climb into gold off that because your aim is good. So I hope those tips help, and good luck.